What's up? Jazmin here, certified admin in the HighLevel Directory. Did you know that just visualizing your systems is sometimes half the battle when it comes to uncovering hidden bottlenecks and untapped potential? There is something really powerful about mapping out workflows, even if it's just on a whiteboard. When you can see how your data flows and where things are getting stuck or tools that are overlapping, it can completely change the game. I had a client realize that they were paying for 3 different tools for a different platform, all to do the same job, or that manual tasks that they thought could only be done by hand can be automated in minutes. This is where I always start a process with a process map and architectural blueprint. It's not busy work, it's actually clarity. And if your system feels clunky or chaotic, first, you might want to just sketch it out. So let's go ahead and dive into a process I use with my clients, and hopefully it can help you too. So if you have something like Canva, many business owners do, then you will be apt to using this in a different way than just designing out flyers or graphic designs for your social media. So Canva has a whiteboarding tool. And what we like to do is we first just start with sticky notes. A lot of times we put the sticky notes inside of here and we map out just a very simple process. We want to know what's happening with the client's business. What are we going to do before we build? You would never build a house without a blueprint, and I wouldn't suggest you should build a business without one either. So we start by just creating a very simple process. What's going to happen, then what's going to happen, then what's going to happen. Once we know what's going to happen and all the things we want to have happen, then we can kind of dig a little deeper into what we like to call the technical architecture blueprint. So in here, we make it look a lot more fancy. It doesn't have to be this fancy, but for us, this ends up becoming the documentation for our client to look back on, and also for future providers or ourselves to go back in when we need to make necessary updates. You know, HighLevel loves to be updating their platform. That means new features, which means sometimes we might need to update our workflows. And so we want to know where and when we do that, right? And here you can see that we can easily see what the process is of, hey, they have a workflow, stages in the workflow for the funnel, and then also mapping a person going through a pipeline. So we see there's 2 different processes happening here. And the whole magic is brought together by the powerhouse of HighLevel's workflow automations. It's amazing how you can take everything and put it in there and make things happen for you without having to do a manual process. So what does that look like? Well, we have a handful of different things happening, workflows that are being triggered, and then it has a set of stages and steps that have to go through. And this entire map is so that when we get into the HighLevel builder, we can be efficient. We know exactly what actions, what's triggers that we need in order to make this workflow work. Let's pop over into the HighLevel backend and actually see what this looks like when you build it in the automations. So here we are in the automations, and all of the automations you just seen in that technical blueprint then get brought into here. And we can just pop one open and just take a look at what it looks like under the hood. And here we have it. So in here, we're adding in our triggers. We're adding in all of our different wait steps. And this is now a visual representation of what is happening inside of this workflow. Sometimes you can't get the bigger picture when it's just a single individual workflow. And sometimes you're going to work on multiple workflows all at one time. So this is just our way of being able to see the bigger picture. And again, if you need help in your business process mapping this out, or having a way to just honestly don't know what the next steps are in building the process you want, you can find me or my team in the HighLevel directory by searching RevForce, or you can find my profile link in the show notes below. Hey, thanks for tuning in.